Welcome back to my Netherlands reaction channel. Today, I'm going to be reacting to a video called Canadian Veterans Celebrated in Netherlands, which is interesting that in Netherlands, they're honoring veterans from Canada. And also, I will start to do videos like this. I've got a couple channels of different countries. I haven't done Canada yet, so if you're coming across as a Canadian, I'll have a link in the description where I'll leave a new channel that I'm going to be starting to do reactions for Canadian specific videos, videos about Canada and all that. So if you see this type of style of channel that I have for Netherlands, if you're interested in that for Canada, I'll leave a link in the description and videos will start to get underway. It's just another country I've decided to start to make videos on and learn more about as someone from Australia myself, if you can't tell by my accent. But anyway, let's get right into this video today.
Spring. Beautiful. The Netherlands in the spring. Beautiful. Flowers in full bloom, parks pristine, streets spotless. It's a far cry from what the same spots were like 70 years ago. The Germans had leveled the cities, murdered those who got in the way, and sent tens of thousands of Jews to be gassed in death camps. The Dutch who were left were starving after the 5 years of brutal Nazi occupation. By 1945, they were so hungry, some were eating tulip bulbs to stay alive.
The starved, rickets-ridden bodies of this Dutch family.
That's it's like that fear in their eyes is, I'm not sure if even I have a word for that. Like you just, wow.
Stay alive.
The starved, rickets-ridden bodies of this Dutch family.
That says it perfectly.
Are witnesses to the treatment the Germans meted out to our
sad
friends
to
in
see.
Holland.
That's when the Canadians arrived. Blasting their way into towns like this one, Apeldoorn, crushing the Nazis, liberating the people.
Okay.
The world's first titanium
Let's get
nonstick
an ad. I'll say it after the ad.
pan. Then blow your hair back. I'm Mike Pagale.
Personally myself, as I said, I'm from Australia. I don't really know too much about what Canada did and how much it sounds like, how much they helped out here. So as I said, for a Canada channel to do reactions on for myself. If you've got any other videos like this, give me all the recommendations to start to learn more. That's what I love with a lot of these videos, to kind of learn things that I may have not learned in school or just in growing up as well, about other countries. So you see why they're being celebrated, that's for sure.
The Dutch have never forgotten, never. And this week, they'll be in these streets again, by the thousands, to welcome back some of those Canadians, now in their 90s, who gave them their country, their lives back.
That's amazing.
I've been coming here for 20 years, never ceasing to be amazed at the Dutch determination to say thank you. This street with its pennants and Canadian flags is representative of many streets across the Netherlands right now, as the Dutch mark the major contribution that Canada played in the liberation of their country half a century ago.
I'm very young. I only heard stories from my grandfather and grandmother. But yes, they freed us 50 years ago, so that's why I'm here.
See, it's generational. It's like the kids and grandkids are thankful because their parents or grandparents were saved. As I said, it's generational. Wow.
I think it's a love affair between the Canadians and the Dutch.
Well, 60 years is an awfully long time, but not long enough for the Dutch to forget the pain, the loss, the suffering, and the oppression of living under Nazi rule all those years during the Second World War. And not long enough either to forget the liberation and those who brought it to them.
It's a beautiful day. This is out of this world.
I'm feeling liberated.
107,000 people left this place on the trains destined for the death camps of Nazi-occupied Europe. 102,000 of them perished in those camps. On days like this, the Dutch come to remember what happened here more than 65 years ago.
The camp life was dominated by the train. The train was taking away 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 prisoners, and you prayed being not on the list.
Why do they never...
Wow, that's what he said, you pray not being on the list.
You prayed being not on the list.
Why do they never forget? Just listen to some of the stories we've heard over the years.
Yeah, you
I
wouldn't.
said, do you eat that every day? Sure. You want some? I'll give you a whole loaf. A whole loaf of white bread. I ran to the house and I planted it on the breakfast table and I said, here, look at it. Canadians are here.
Look at this street sign in an Apeldoorn suburb. If the name looks Canadian, it's because it is. A dozen streets in this neighborhood are named after one of the almost 8,000 Canadians who never came home from the battle. What was it about those young men who, through the generations, the Dutch won't stop thanking? Who were those guys? George Beale was one of them, a major with the 48th Highlanders. Every few days he'd stop and write a letter home to his wife, Ruth, in Toronto.
Wow.
This is one of them. Here's what he said. My own darling, I haven't written you for 5 days. I didn't feel much like it, sweetie.
These ones, like these letters to family or partners, like they get me. Oh, whew. Like you just try and picture that situation, and yeah, they're really beautiful. But yeah, you can only imagine what they would have been feeling, whether it be the man who's fighting or the woman at home. Oof.
My own darling, I haven't written you for 5 days. I didn't feel much like it, sweetie, as we were fighting again, and I was awfully busy, and we've been having a tough fight. At the moment, I'm sitting in a city called Apeldoorn, and the Queen's Palace is within 100 yards of me.
Wow.
That's the Queen's Palace, right over there. We're about 100 yards from it. He might have been right here. We entered the town proper this morning after a big advance from the Isle River. I'm fine, Ruth, so don't worry, although I'm very tired. The enemy's running like the...
See, I told you, I didn't know this exactly would be in the video, but whew, that's real. Like my instant thought, like back on that, I'll tell you what my thought was.
Fine, Ruth, so don't worry, although I'm very tired.
When he said don't worry, you know she is going to worry. He can say don't worry, she still will.
The enemy's running like the devil again, and we have to chase him. The fighting was bloody, and the dying. But through it all, George wrote to Ruth about the love he had for his men. He wrote this one on Sunday, April 22nd. I have fought and lived with those men for over a year, and to me they seemed as though they were part of my family. They never refused to go any place I ordered, and did everything I asked them to, cheerfully and willingly, knowing most of the time that I might be sending them to their deaths. There were lots of individual Canadians.
There's so many aspects to it as well. It's with the partner, the wife who got back home, and then the seriousness of the situation they're in as well at war. Knowing that any moment their lives could be taken away just like that. It's scary, and I almost felt like don't say that. Like, because your version of saying it's scary, you don't know exactly what they were feeling. But again, it's a feeling of, we probably don't have words of what they were truly feeling in that moment.
Heroes here, Army men like George Beale, but Air Force flyers too. 50 years ago, these fields near Nistelrode in southeastern Holland were home base for a Royal Canadian Air Force Spitfire squadron. One of those Canadian pilots was a 22-year-old chap from Lethbridge, Alberta, whose name was Richard Odette. Well, near the end of December 1944, Odette had flown more than 50 missions. But up until that point, he had scored no German kills. Well, on the 29th of December, 1944, all that changed. When Richard Odette flew out of one of these fields, he flew right into the history books. Before he returned, he had shot down 5 German aircraft.
Wow.
No other Canadian pilot, no other British pilot had scored that many victories in one mission. Meanwhile, frontline fighters broke through to capture key strategic locations.
Wow.
All this was happening as the Nazis were facing their final desperate days, until that last moment when the fighting and the dying suddenly stopped. 70 years ago this week, the war ended. And here's what George Beale wrote to Ruth on that same day. You can feel the emotion in his voice.
Okay. Let's strap in for this.
Darling, you couldn't possibly have any idea just what kind of a reception it has been and still is. The people go simply mad. And I had the honor, darling, of being the leading vehicle, my Jeep. Any town we went through, the people crowded the roads, and we had a most difficult time getting past them. They all want to touch your hand or even kiss you, and they simply pelted us with flowers. My Jeep looked like a florist shop. It does make all the hardships worthwhile when you see the joy of these liberated people. For this year's Returning Heroes, new medals from the local mayor.
Your memories, your thoughts guide us as we shape our future.
And new thoughts about an old battle.
Well, I was stationed here during the war as a Canadian Women's Army Corps, which I'm very proud of. And it brings back so many memories. And I always have a place in my heart for Holland, for Apeldoorn.
And it's a great, great day, you know. For the little thing we did, we get so much, 1,000 times more time.
The Dutch.
See how he described it? He said, for the little thing we did.
I always have a place in my heart for Holland, for Apeldoorn.
And it's a great, great day, you know. For the little thing we did, we get so much, 1,000 times more time.
But see, then to them is so much more than a little thing. Like it's so big. Like I was touching on before, it's generational. But you see this man, what he's like. He just said it was little, but it was big to them.
The Dutch people are so
The Dutch people are the best people in the world, and I mean it.
Wow.
I am Daenerys Stormborn, and I will take what.
Yeah.
Fongeningen just down the road from Apeldoorn, in that little building. That's where the Germans finally surrendered. These extraordinary pictures capture the moment.
To the Commander-in-Chief, 21 Army Group. These forces to lay down their arms and to surrender unconditionally.
And there at the table, Canadian General George Kitching, distinguished then and just as distinguished when I chatted with him at the same table 50 years later.
Wow.
How do you feel when you come back in this room?
It's almost as if they're ghosts. As if you are the German on the opposite side of the table, Peter. It was full of people then. Any movement, it was a very quiet room. And in spite of the fact that there were 30 Canadian reporters, they were quiet.
The general is gone now, and so are many of the men who fought with him. But the ones who are left, the ones who still come, the ones the Dutch, young and old, still so adore, are here with their memories.
It's beautiful.
The ones that hurt, the ones that leave them quiet,
a lot of pain,
and the ones that somehow make them smile.
I've never felt that I sacrificed anything to be part of a liberating army.
There were so many Canadians who lost their lives here in the Netherlands. How did you handle that on a day-to-day basis?
I put it out of my mind altogether, but nonetheless I cry when I go to the cemetery and see my friends' graves.
I never learned to cry. You just feel it inside.
That's so deep. Wow. Ooh, that travels deep. A lot of meanings. A lot of people could relate to that.
Cry when I go to the cemetery and see my friends' graves.
I never learned to cry. You just feel it inside.
I never learnt to cry. I just feel it inside. It rhymes too as well, just to make it more perfect, but just its meaning. Ooh, I feel like a lot of men are like that as well. It does, as I said, that little quote there, this man said right there. Yeah, this man, John Jock McStay. Oof. Powerful words. Let's just hear that again.
When I go to the cemetery and see my friends' graves.
I never learned to cry. You just feel it inside.
What does it mean to you guys to be remembered the way you are here in this country, the way they look at you, the way they react to you?
Well, it's 70 years ago that we were here, but still, the kids are still enthusiastic about what we did here 70 years.
They was so young too.
And I love to see kids the way they greet us and the way they look in such admiration at us.
Yeah.
You know.
Really, it was something to feel the happiness, the joy of the liberation.
I asked the people I was staying with, "What is this touching bit?" You know, they asked permission to touch you, and I couldn't get over that. So they want to touch a liberator. And they want their children to touch a liberator.
It's so powerful.
20 years ago, I asked the then mayor of Apeldoorn why it was that the Dutch never forgot the Canadians. His answer was very simple, very direct. He said, "You have to have been occupied to appreciate what freedom really means. And when you do, you never forget who gave it to you."
Oh,
that's why Canada is never forgotten here. Never.
This, just the act itself of, the Canadian veterans being celebrated in Netherlands, but this video, there's just so many beautiful things being said. It's like, wow, this is, really, really powerful. Multiple parts of this video. Whew. Let me know how this made you feel. And if you're Dutch, if you're Canadian, let me know how you feel about this, this occasion, about being celebrated in Netherlands, and if you're Dutch, your perspective of it as well. Canadians' perspective, I'd love to see everyone's thoughts. And like I touched on at the start of the video, if you're Canadian, I'll leave a link in the description for a Canada reaction channel where I react to Canadian videos like this, and like you would see on this reaction channel, which is for Netherlands content. If you like that type of idea, be sure to come on over and I'll start uploading videos of that kind of style for Canada. So anyway, thank you for your time watching my reaction on this one. And we'll see, not many where I start to feel a bit emotional, but this triggered some emotions, that's for sure. Really beautiful video, this one, and beautiful occasion that they celebrate in Netherlands for the Canadians that fought for their country. So I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in another video.